In today's video, we're going to show you how Joe devised an automatic watering system for our GreenStalk vertical planters. If you've been following our journey through retirement, then you know that we have some GreenStalk planters that I just love so much, but we also love to travel so much. And we went away and we thought we did something good, and we used one of these to water the GreenStalks while we were gone on an automatic timer, and when we came back they were pretty much dead. So we had to think of something different, and GreenStalk does sell some automatic watering kits, but even on sale they're over $30, and I'm sure they work wonderful, and maybe someday I'll have one, but that isn't even with the timer itself. And I have 3 GreenStalks, so that would have been over $100 just in those kits alone, not even the timer. So Joe's like, we've got a lot of stuff at home, we could make it with just a few other purchases. So I left him to his own devices, and he came up with a great system, and we're going to show you how he did it.
Okay, so as Tracy mentioned, we originally tried a sprinkler, and we bought a timer, and we'll visit that timer a little later because it is both Alexa and Wi-Fi enabled, so it's got an app, so you could just set the timer and say, okay, water now. But the sprinkler wasn't enough, so what we had to do was devise a system to get the water down into the GreenStalks the way they're designed. All right, so let me show you what we did and the thought process behind it. We know we need to get the water into these trays so that the water can drip down into the GreenStalks. So the easiest way to do that, I thought, was get a long piece of PVC pipe, drill hole centers above each one, and drip it down. We already had these shepherd hooks. We picked them up at an estate sale for like $2 a piece. They do sell them new, and we'll link them below. But we already had those. We also already had a hose splitter, and I'll show you later when we show you the timer. I don't like it up there by the house because I have to put a cover over that in the winter, and I don't want to unscrew things and make it complicated, so I moved it down here. So put a male to female connector on the end of the hose, hook and that's available at Ace, everywhere, Amazon, whatever, we'll link it, on the end of the hose. Then put the hose splitter there. We ran one piece of hose. This one's also available everywhere. It's a male to female connector, so that we can go, or it's a short piece of hose basically. So we run that here, and then we split another hose down here to a soaker hose. So now the water, when the timer comes on, we'll fill the pipe and fill the things and run as scheduled. Then this other piece of hose here is down to a soaker hose, which we run along the fence line, and we'll water the plants. We'll just move all the house plants and everything down along the fence line when we're traveling, so that they get taken care of and we don't have to think about it. Oh, I forgot to mention that on these hose, on this PVC pipe, you're going to need to buy 2 different ends. At the far end, a cap that just basically says, hey, water don't flow out of here, and keeps it inside. And then the other one is a cap on this side that allows it to connect to a hose. You just walk into Home Depot and say, hey, I need that, they'll hook you up. You don't have to know much to do it. And the soaker hose, we also have, you'll notice, a piece of PVC pipe. I had that here at the house for another project I'm planning on doing later, which maybe we'll do a video about, where I'm going to take water from the lake and use it to water the yard and garden, but that hasn't happened yet. But so we took this soaker hose and ran it through pipe so that it doesn't drip water here on the back where we don't want it, and then it'll end and just come down this one fence line where we need it, so that we can water the vines and the plants. Tracy's going to tell you more about the timer later, but we did, this thing is for in the winter when the pipes freeze. We basically use the quick release here. I won't disconnect it because the water is running so that the timer can work, but we use a quick release, which is something we'll also link before, so you can easily turn off the water and flip between 2 hoses so you don't have to reconnect hoses. And the reason we have 2 hoses is originally we had a 200-foot hose so we can water out to the orchard out there, and we could use that, but since we're kind of putting a permanent fixture on this, I bought a shorter hose that was purpose driven just to get the water down there. and then we can use the longer hose to water other things. And then eventually I may bury this so it doesn't get caught up in the lawnmower, although I'm kind of keeping the grass dead over here, so may or may not need to be buried, but that's why I switched with stainless steel hoses. And you'll see here, and we'll also link that. It usually looks a little prettier draped than that, but we have a holder there for that, and then some hooks there if she decides later to put some plants or bird feeders, whatever. So pretty cool, pretty easy. I think after the timer, I probably spent less than 30 bucks, and we're up and running.
So this is the timer that Joe picked up on Amazon. It was really easy to set up. In fact, I did it myself. And there is another version where you can have 2 hoses coming out of it, but we just chose the one with the 1 hose. But this timer is app enabled, and so what I've done is, it was so easy and so user-friendly in the app. I've scheduled it to water for 5 minutes every day at 6 a.m. and then it's going to go off for 10 minutes, come on again for 5 minutes, off again for 10 minutes, and on again for another 10 minutes. The reason why I did the intervals of 5 minutes each with a 10-minute break is because, as you can see here, the water comes out, the pressure is really good, but it's not the same pressure as a hose. And so it never really fills up the entire top part before the water starts dripping out the bottom. So I thought if we would do the intervals of 5 minutes watering each time, it would give more of a chance for the water to get to the different tiers before it starts dripping out the bottom. So far, this is working perfect. And like Joe said, it just cost him a few dollars to make with the things that we had already at home. And hopefully next time we go, I won't come back to a dead garden. As Joe mentioned before, this PVC pipe here isn't part of the GreenStalk watering system. We just devised another way so that we can run a soaker hose and my grapes can get some water, and then we're also going to put whatever potted plants that we have under the soaker hose so that way it can get watered at the same time as the GreenStalks. So that's what we did to set up an automatic watering system for the GreenStalk garden. And we hope that his thought process can help somebody. And thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.